Mr. Hamburger, you testified that railroads are 99.99% safe, and Mr. Black said that the safest way to transport is by pipeline. Is he 100% safe, or is he somewhere between 99.99 and 100, or is he just wrong?
We have statisticians that are taking a look, and I think we're arguing about decimal points here. The fact of the matter is we are safe, pipelines are safe, and this product has to move, and it's a good news story that is leading this country to energy independence. And so we are not quibbling over thousandths of a percent. I think we're both very safe and trying to get safer.
If something happens with a railroad and you have a train derail, you've got a limited amount of oil that's at risk, or could risk the public. There's so many cars lose their load. Pipeline has a problem. It's unlimited, is it not?
In the event of a pipeline release, the operator turns off power to the pump stations and isolates and turns off valves to isolate the amount of the release, limiting the amount that can be released. When a pipeline operator responds properly to an incident, it's a small amount of barrels that are released.
Is that what happened at the Enbridge spill? Was there a limited amount of oil? Obviously, it was limited because it's still not going on, but was it not a great quantity?
Correct. Pipeline operators want to properly detect the release and begin to respond. In that case, they did not. That's the exception. A lot of learnings have occurred from that. We've had a lot of investments in leak detection technologies and recommended practices being developed at API on several different issues to minimize pipeline releases and improve responses.
Mr. Black, the EPA has stated that tar sands poses serious environmental risks and more serious than other crude oils. Do you agree or disagree that tar sands is a more serious environmental risk than other crude oils?
Well, I disagree. It's like any heavy crude oil. The National Academy of Sciences is studying that issue right now. They've already studied one issue about whether it's more corrosive inside a pipeline, and an expert review panel concluded that it was not.
So you don't agree with the opinion that tar sands environmentally are more likely to affect the environment if there's a spill?
Behaves like any other heavy crude oil.
Do you believe tar sands, that right now they have an exemption from contributing to the fund that we have on Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund? Do you think that liability is appropriate?
Well, I want to reassure you that any pipeline operator is responsible for any release, and the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund will apply in any release. Now, the IRS, the ruling that Mr. DeFazio mentioned, has apparently given a private letter ruling that some importers of crude oil don't pay into the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund. But regardless of what is carried, if there's a release from a pipeline, the pipeline operator is financially responsible, and the Oil Spill Liability Trust Fund is there as a backup for that on-scene Federal coordinator or for any claims. There's no exemption to that. It's just a question of what importers pay the per-barrel excise tax into the fund. I don't have a position on that.
Mr. Hamburger, there are several cities in this country that are significant railroad centers. Which one is the best city for railroads?
I feel confident in saying that Memphis ranks right up there, sir.
Exactly. That's what I thought, absolutely positively. I yield back the balance of my time.